Welcome to Kids Church. Today we're learning about another fruit of the Spirit, kindness. Now, let's see how this guy in the Bible showed kindness when he had visitors who felt a little bit hot.
This is chapter 18, verses 1 to 4. Later the Lord again appeared to Abraham near the great trees of Mamre. At that time Abraham was sitting at the door of his tent. It was during the hottest part of the day. He looked up and saw 3 men standing near him. When Abraham saw them, he ran from his tent to meet them. He bowed face down on the ground before them. Abraham said, "Sir, if you think well of me, please stay a while with me, your servant."
Now, Abraham welcomed his visitors and invited them to keep cool in the shade of the tree. And that was kind. But Abraham did more to show kindness.
I'll bring some water so all of you can wash your feet. You may rest under the tree.
Abraham didn't just give his visitors a foot rest, he washed their feet. Kindness is a fruit of the Spirit, and washing their feet showed God's kindness. There was another thing the visitors needed.
Genesis chapter 18, verse 5. I will get some bread for you so you can regain your strength. Then you may continue your journey. The 3 men said, that is fine. Do as you said.
Kindness is a fruit of the Spirit. Abraham showed kindness by helping his visitors cool off, washing their feet, giving them food. We can show kindness too when we find ways to help other people with their needs. Here's something really good. Abraham's visitors weren't just people. 2 of them actually were angels. And some people today think one was God himself. Now that's pretty amazing because this story happened a long time before Jesus lived on earth. It was very unusual to see God walking around then. Now if you saw somebody who needed help, how would it change your view to think of that person as Jesus or as an angel? We're not sure when Abraham figured out who his visitors really were, but he was kind anyway, even though he thought they were just regular people. And Jesus said in Matthew 25, verse 40, that when we are kind to other people, it's the same thing as being kind to him. But kindness doesn't have to just come from us. You see, Abraham's visitors were there because they had a kind message to share with Abraham and his wife Sarah. Let's hear about it.
Genesis chapter 18, verses 10 to 11. Then the Lord said, I will certainly return to you about this time a year from now. At that time your wife Sarah will have a son. Sarah was listening at the entrance of the tent, which was behind him. Abraham and Sarah were very old. Sarah was past the age when women normally have children.
Now, Abraham and Sarah were very old, and they didn't think they would be able to have kids anymore. But God is just so kind. He made a way for them to have a son. Sometimes we think kindness is something we just need to try harder at. But kindness is a fruit of the Spirit. And that means God is kind. And the closer we grow in our relationship with God, the more his kindness comes out to us. Can you think of times when you have experienced God's kindness in your life? We reflect God's kindness when we stay close to God. Abraham walked very closely with God, so he was kind. Ask God to show how he wants you to show kindness this week, after you leave church today, when you go to school next week, or when you're spending time with your friends or family. You might even ask him to help you know how to show kindness to specific people who are maybe difficult for you to be kind with or to. For example, you might do a chore for a brother or sister, or spend time with someone who doesn't have any friends. Ask God right now what He wants you to do. Then remember to follow through with whatever idea God gives you. Remember, kindness is a gift, is a fruit of the Spirit. It's not about us trying harder. It's a gift from God that we get to share with other people. So ask God first how He would like you to show kindness. And you can find a lot more resources on the Resource Centre about kindness. I'll see you next week. Bye!